Hello, friends. How are you? How's things today? How's life? It is cold and raining here. We've had some really weird, strange weather lately, but we're doing okay right now. I brought my Switch down with me today because I've been playing a game and I want to talk about that. Not the game. I've been playing. Can I show you? Will it show up on here? Maybe not. I've been playing Kingdom Come Deliverance. Um, Game that came out in like 2017, 2016, something like that on all other consoles. And then in 2023 got put on the Switch. It's a game that I've been wanting to play for years and years. I remember when it was launched that when they did the Kickstarter, that it was like their big thing was this realistic combat where you have these like 6 target zones and you have to pay attention to your opponent's shoulders and block when appropriate. And it looked really neat, but it also looked really cumbersome. But I was more interested in the theme and the setting, and I wanted to play it, and I kind of forgot all about it. Recently, I've seen 1.5 million advertisements for Kingdom Come 2, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that game. So I looked it up, and sure enough, they did a Switch version. It's like the ultimate complete special extra edition, whatever it's called. I don't know. It has all of the Royal Edition. It has all of the DLCs and stuff included. The video, this talk is not about this game, but that's to give you some context. I'm probably 20% of the way through the main storyline. I've done almost all of the side quests I can find to this point. Actually, I've done all the side quests I've found to this point. There are activities in this game. So there's quests, side quests, and activities. And activities, I guess, are like, I don't know, they don't really have a story. They're just like somebody says go do this thing and you can go do it. And I've been playing it a lot. I've been playing it for a couple weeks now, I think, and I've probably got 60 hours into it or something, which is a lot of hours, but also, for me, kind of not. I will be doing a review of this game, and I will talk about why I've been putting so much time into it during that review. But the thing that's really interesting to me is how much time I'm not putting into it. We talked about this last year. We talked about it when I played Red Dead Redemption 2. That something has changed in me. Something is different in me, and that is my ability to get lost in something seems to be gone. I talked about it during Red Dead because it was the first time that it had occurred to me that I was playing a video game that I was absolutely engrossed with, but I wasn't compelled to play it, meaning that I was able to just live my life and then pick up the controller when I wanted to. And that's the way this game has been. This game has been, it's phenomenal. It's probably, I don't want to say it's the best game I've ever played, but it's very high on my list so far. And I don't feel compelled to play it. There's no compulsion. And what I mean by that is casually compelled. Sure, I am like very interested. I want to pick it up. I want to play it. But I don't have a compulsion. Like a driving, you must play this game, pick it up, what are you doing? Everything else means nothing, play this game. And that is how I lived for a lot of my adult life. But thinking about this, thinking about, a video next week. I've got topics for next week. I've got, one of them is about video games, and it made me think about my childhood playing video games. And how I didn't have that compulsion as a child either. I loved video games and I wanted to play them all the time, but I also loved 1,000 other things. And so a video game for me, I was not that kid who would like put on his headphones and get involved in a video game and forget that the world existed. I could do that with a dozen other hobbies, but video games for me were this amazing reprieve from everything else. And I used them as a reset sort of, and then I would come back to them, whatever. I also have a pretty shallow ego, and so when a video game bruises my ego, it's very easy for me to just walk away from it, and I think that's part of it as a child too. But as I got into adulthood and I started playing these more RPG games that don't really challenge your ego like that generally, and they let you become immersed in the world, I became super immersed in that world to the point that it became compulsive. I became an addict for sure, 1,000%. I've been addicted to Lots of games I've played. Not gaming in general. I don't think I'm addicted, as this shows. I don't think I'm addicted to video gaming. But there are games that I have been addicted to. Specific titles. Things that I'm like, I have to finish this. I have to play this. And I will put 80 hours in a week into it. I will just do nothing else except for work and play that video game. And I haven't felt that. I've felt the same level of love and joy and immersion playing Red Dead Redemption and now Kingdom Come Deliverance as I have, say, Breath of the Wild. But when I played Breath of the Wild, I finished it in like 10 days. We're talking almost 100% of that game in 10 days because I put like 100 hours into it in 10 days. Don't feel that way with these two games. Even though I would say I might play this game twice. I'll never play Breath of the Wild again. Just because I've already done it. I don't need to go do it again. But this game, I feel like I could play a completely different character, a completely different build, be a bit different. And maybe I will play it again. You know, I've said that about Skyrim. I'd love to go back to Skyrim and play as a vampire build. I've never done that. Maybe someday I will. Maybe after this I will. Because I found that I have now developed or maybe even lost some part of me that is compulsive. And I think that's a good thing, obviously. I think that being a compulsive addict of something is harmful in a lot of ways. And I don't really know what broke the cycle for me. It's not like I've put conscious effort into being more disciplined with my video game playing. I haven't. I haven't really thought about it at all. It's just something that happened. I now find myself saying, I like playing that game, but if I don't play it today, okay. And if I don't play it tomorrow, fine. And if I put it away for a week and then I come back to it, that's also cool. No big deal. I don't know where that change came from. And I've been spending the last couple of days putting some thought into that. Where did that change come from? I don't know. Is it just part of growing up? Is it just part of realizing that there's not a lot of time left in this world? Maybe that's part of it. Maybe I'm starting to feel the crunch. Not the midlife crisis, but just knowing that I'm not getting younger and that if I'm going to, strive for some goals that I have set for myself in earlier years, I need to put in more effort. I'm not putting in that effort currently, so I don't think that's necessarily it. But somewhere along the way, I lost that compulsion. I lost that, drive. And it's definitely an issue right now with board games. I mean, last year I played almost nothing. I played maybe a dozen board games last year, whereas normally I would try 30 or 40 games in a year and then have 30 or 40 gaming sessions a year or something. I maybe had half dozen days where I played board games last year, maybe 10 days when a friend would come over and play games. Haven't done that in forever, and I need to fix that situation because board games are a huge part of my life, right? But I don't have the compulsion. Somehow, somewhere, the compulsion left. The compulsion for pretty much everything. I don't feel compulsion to come work on projects. I don't feel compulsion to play music. It's all been not necessarily effort driven, but I've had to consciously decide I'm going to play music today. I'm going to play this. I'm going to play that. I'm going to play this game. I'm going to come work on a thing. And I'm enjoying it. And I'm also enjoying the freedom that I've given myself to not do those things. I'm enjoying the grace I've given myself to say, you know what? You don't have to do that today. It's okay. You're not less of a woodworker because you didn't woodwork today or whatever. You're not less of a musician because you didn't practice today. So somewhere the compulsion went to the wayside, and I'm okay with that. I have a healthy relationship with it, and I think that's a good thing. That's a very good thing. But it also concerns me because the compulsion is also a form of drive, and if I don't have drive, what do I have? I'm terrified of being complacent, absolutely terrified of complacency. What do you think? Do you still have compulsions in your whatever? What age are you, and do you still have compulsions? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you have not hit the subscribe button, please do so. I'm enjoying seeing some positive subscriber growth. I'd like to keep that going. It's fun. I'll see you tomorrow. Today's 1,000 plus little things happy, successful people do differently. We are learning 16 harsh truths that make us stronger. And number 5, There's a lot you can't control. You don't have to control everything to find peace and happiness. It lives with you, always deep within. See what happens when you loosen your grip, throw your hands in the air, and allow life to just happen and flow. That's fun. I think I mentioned not too long ago that Malia and I have been on this path when we're with our friends to just let it go and just do what they say or do what the group thinks, and that's part of that. Like, just see what happens, let it go, and it's been very rewarding.